Okay, happy Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. I can identify natural resources. I can explain the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. And I can explain which Earth sphere's resources come from. We kind of previewed a lot of this yesterday with our rotation activity. Some pretty good answers as I was skimming through those. I'm going to get some firm feedback on there and get some stuff in the gradebook for you. So for today, we're doing an intro bell ringer. And then we're going to be doing something whole group pretty quick before we go into split stations. So it'll be A group, B group, team 1, team 2. I'll pull them up on the Kagan. And that'll also then have your computer numbers to let you know where you're actually working and which computer you're working with. So half the group will be doing notes. The other half will be doing work on Discovery Ed related to this sheet that we got yesterday. Remember, you need to do one from each column. This is an assignment that's going to be due Friday. You should have picked this up yesterday. If you did not, there's extra copies in the Tuesday bin. When they run out, they're out. I'll get it posted on Google Classroom, but when they run out, they're out. We do not have extra copies, and they are eliminating copies even more so than they were during fall. So we need to be aware of that. We need to make sure we're keeping track of our papers and not losing them. You're welcome to use the crates in the room. You were told at the beginning of the school year to have a folder. If you don't have a folder, I have a couple more floating around. We can try to get somebody one if it's absolutely necessary. So that's going to be our plan for today, doing the split stations. But before we get into that, we do want to look at our bell ringer activity for today. We are trying to identify renewable and non-renewable resources. So, for example, coal. Not talking about charcoal that you use on your grill, but actually the regular carbon coal that we mine underground. Raise your hand if you say that is renewable. Raise your hand if you say that is non-renewable. Okay, so that is a non-renewable. We'll talk about how coal was made during the notes. I'll give you a better concept on that. How about trees? Trees, we use trees for wood. We burn wood in our fireplace. We make furniture out of wood, we make houses out of wood. Trees, renewable. Raise your hand if you say it's renewable. Trees, non-renewable. Okay, trees are renewable. How about water? Looking at water. Trying to mostly consider fresh water. Renewable? Non-renewable. Okay, water is mostly renewable because it comes back from rain and that, although there is a limit that we shouldn't hit in our lifetime, but I mean, in theory, you could actually hit a limit on that. How about wind? Wind farms are becoming very popular. You see those big windmills sometimes. There's a windmill outside the Chipotle over by Gurney Mills. Is wind renewable? Is wind non-renewable? Okay, wind is renewable. The wind isn't going anywhere. Some days aren't as windy as others, but definitely we can get wind on any given day. Natural gas. You may have heard about fracking. That's how we get natural gas. That's how, if you have a gas stove or a gas furnace, that's how that's powered. Natural gas. Raise your hand for natural gas is renewable. Raise your hand for natural gas is non-renewable. Okay, that's another one that's non-renewable. It's like coal. We'll talk about that again during the notes that you're either taking today or tomorrow. Petroleum. Petroleum is actually how we make gasoline that we put in our cars. Is that renewable or non-renewable? Okay, petroleum is a non-renewable, although parts of petroleum are in fact could be argued as a renewable resource because like petroleum makes plastic and we can recycle plastic. So there's some renewability there, but that's not renewing the petroleum. We can't turn plastic into gasoline. Okay, finally, biomass. Considering biomass, how much matter is in something. Is that renewable? Non-renewable. Biomass is a non-renewable, although it's a little confusing just because it exists as what it is. Like if I burn wood in my fireplace in my backyard, then some of it turns into carbon that goes into the air, some of it turns into ash that I end up dumping into my compost bin, and so it's non-renewable, but because it always goes. It's always there. So that's what we're talking about today. Groups are coming up in front of me right now with the Team 1, Team 2. For today, we're going to do Team 1 on computers. Check out your numbers. Move towards the back of the room with the proper computer number. Team 2, come on towards the front, and we're going to be taking notes.